Hey, it's really bright in here. It's because that's my light or my window is right there. So today we're going to convert the swing prop from Spirit. That normally just has nobody on it, or you could put a person on it. I put a little girl on it. She's our part of our backstory. And the swing has the try me thing, and the step pad thing. So this works for it. So you can see right here. This is what we're going to be converting. So this stays at just as is. Here's your power cord. This is the cord that goes to the light up there in that box up there. And this thing just swings by itself. It's a really cool prop. I love it. This is like one of the older versions of this one. And the swing goes very far, and it's a very awesome prop, and it fits really well with our theme. So, but I have hated the fact that the step pad, obviously, I don't know if did I throw it away? So, if you've ever wanted to see what was inside one of these step pads, you'll be very upset at the way that it works. Good thing, I mean, people buy these for like $10 from Spirit, which is terrible, or they come with some of the props. So, if you ever want to cut one open, you get this cool little white thing, which I assume actually disperses the step so that anywhere you do it. This is not easy doing one-handed. There we go. So you open this up and you get this little thing right here. You get this little white thing. The wires that come out of it attach to this little metal disc. Now, as you can tell, mine is wet because it has been outside. But yeah, obviously that's eventually what it does when it gets wet is it rusts. And it, gets all gross in there. So this is literally what you step on, how big of a pad that is, and that's what you step on. That's the only place you can really step to make it go off. Now, I'm assuming this little white fabric thing may disperse the weight of your foot, and actually, as you step on this spot here, it actually does react with this, maybe, and that's how you get the idea of it doing it. But generally, your foot is big enough that any part of your foot is going to contact this button, and that's all that you end up doing. Thanks to Nate Dingman for telling me the other night that this is what it looks like, and we ripped it open last night, and that's what it is. So that's why it's a super ineffective way to produce a scare in your haunt, preferably if you're having people walk through. So we're going to change it to this. Wireless security alert system. Dun, dun, dun. This is sold at Harbor Freight. Works up to 400 feet away, because you can't see that because of the glare. There you go. Works 400 feet away. What I did here, and I'm going to look to see if there is on the box. Supposedly on the box, there's supposed to be a channel number. I do not see a channel number on this at all. Because the problem is, I don't see a channel number on this either. Huh. Now there is this 14B right there. Or 14D. And there's a 14D on this piece right here. Problem is, you can't see what that is. There used to be a way you used to be able to tell the channel number, because if you got one with a different channel number, it would work on just that receiver. So the thing is that, and this may only be, I'm glad I'm only doing one prop, but this sensor will set off any of these that are around. So if you have 3 of these in your, around your yard with different props attached to them, they'll all go off at the same time. So the idea was to get a different one of these with a different channel. So you buy 3 of them, you need to check to make sure which one has a channel. So maybe they've changed it since the last video I saw of somebody doing this. So maybe they don't have channels anymore. So this may only be good for one prop, but it's still a cool way to do this. So we're going to do the how-to anyways. By the way, if anybody has ever watched any of my how-tos before, they know that I do these on the fly. And I do not practice or do not do any kind of script. So that's why it's more just like regular talking. Plus, I evidently have allergies today, so we'll deal with that too. You have your alert system. You don't need to do anything with this other than put a battery in it. That's all you have to do. So this you can set aside completely. Obviously, don't lose the screws. Look at how tiny that screw is and how I'm holding it there like that. That's pretty cool. So as with all these things that they make from China, they always put these stupid little screws in there and you strip them out, you strip the heads, whatever. You don't need the screw technically because it does have little clips that you can put in there, and it should stay closed. Let's see. Okay, no, it's not. So don't lose the screws. Lesson number 1, never lose screws. So this one, you'll need to take off the C batteries. Awesome. Probably there's a way. There are ways to get them. I don't know if they make them in C's, but I know they make them in AA's. You can actually wire these things up. They put dummy connectors in here, and they put dummy batteries, and there's wires attached to it, and then that you can connect to a barrel connector, like... Get this before it falls apart here. So you have your barrel connector like that. You can attach that to the end of it, and you can basically wire all these up together. And then, is this a power supply? Oh my god, it's a power supply. And you can run a power supply to it. This type of thing, I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I doubt that those C batteries would run out any time of the season. I think that these would last all season because it is just powering a speaker. It's obviously sending just a signal to what we're doing. So it's not going to need any longer than just a boop. So these C batteries should last a long time. But if you needed it, you can look for like I'll put a link in the description, but there's ones for AA's and AAA's I know for sure, and they're on Amazon, so I will put a link on there. But they're like dummy battery converters or you know, something like that. So I'll find it and I'll put a link in the video. So take your screws out. You've got 4 here. You've got 2 inside the battery compartment. I did not see those at first. So now you have. Oops, I did this earlier to save time. So you have your 2 pieces now. So what you're going to do, the 2 wires you need are right here. These 2 wires right here attached to this cool speaker. So you're going to not need the speaker anymore. Also, I did notice that there's these cool little LEDs that are just on these little pins. They're supposed to go back inside those little holes. It's not going to happen. This one was already bent a little bit. Sorry. This one was a little bent already. So if you want, you can take those off. You can do whatever you want with them. Push them inside if you don't want the light to show. Things like that, because you know the light will come through there. The idea is you can hide this prop inside, like the back of a prop, like a scarecrow or something like that. Any of the spirit props, you can hide this inside the clothing. Then it should just sit in there. For the swing, I think I'm actually going to keep the cord from the step me pad really long, and I'm just going to put this off to the side and cover it with rocks or whatever. So it just won't be seen at all, because I don't really want to attach any more weight to the bottom of the swing. I don't want it to affect the weight of how it swings back and forth. So for right now, you don't need this right now. We are going to take out these little grill, this little grill piece right here. We're going to take that. We're going to cut one of those pieces out because we want the cord to go through here. So this is your speaker. Again, awesome, China. Look at this. That is a speaker now. Back in my day, it had the little thing you could push in, and it had the little, the little acoustic parts. So this is your makes the little ding. So all you need to do is just pull these apart. Pull that apart, throw it away. To be perfectly honest, I haven't done this yet, so we're doing this right along with you. So when it actually works, I'm going to be super excited. So I've got the cord from the step me pad. Or step on me pad, whatever, and I already took it off because you saw the one that's the one I got it off of. So you have your red and black wires, so easily identifiable to attach to the red and black wires here. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip back, let's go one less. Well, that's not good at all. Oh, there we go. Okay. So inside of it, so you have your, when you peel it off, the black is going to be this copper wire that's left over, and then the red is going to have that. So obviously that's your, so separate out the black, or the bare copper, from the red, obviously. And do the same with the wires from this. I hate these things. There we go. That's not bad. Like, when they made these, they didn't make them set right, so you have to, like, they're, like, offset, and so they don't actually, like, do a good job. I've got some clamp ones that you go like that to do it, and I like those better, but they're harder on this smaller stuff. So, now you've got your black and your red, you got them stripped. That's kind of hard to see. So, what we're going to do is, I do like to use shrink wrap on stuff. This is going to go outside. If you know it's going to be inside and it's not going to touch anything electrical, water, go ahead and use electrical tape. Always slide your shrink wrap over it first, because you can't do it afterwards. And I am actually going to take another piece of thicker shrink wrap. Dang it, there went my cord. That's going to go over all of them together. Does it make it waterproof? Probably not. But it does a darn good job. This is hard to wrap around. There we go. All right. Need the electrical tape. You still can do electrical tape. Electrical tape will help the shrink wrap get smaller, because they don't really make super small shrink wrap for these little wires. I'm sure they do online, but like Harbor Freight and stuff like that doesn't have very small ones. So, you know what? So once you have those stripped, go ahead and take a knife. And just basically punch it out. You could probably also use like needle nose pliers or something like that too. Again, doesn't need to be pretty. Yeah. You could also use a drill bit probably too. So go ahead and stick your wires through that now. And just let that fall down, because you don't need it right now. All right, now we can get back to this. Also, solder. I suck at soldering. I had a friend, a haunter, Christopher Weeks, one time show me how to do soldering, and he was a genius at it. He was, it was amazing. I still suck at it. I did good in front of him, and then I came home and I tried and I tried and I tried, and bigger things I'm good at with the soldering, but small stuff like this, nada. So, all right, we got that. And now we'll do the black. Supposedly on another video I watched, it said it didn't matter which chords you did it to, but let's just do red and black. To red and black. That makes more sense to me. I don't want to be reversing polarities here and stuff like that. That doesn't seem smart. They make liquid electrical tape too. I have some. I just don't use it very much. Again, big jobs. Electrical tape works for little jobs. Liquid stuff probably works good for big jobs. doing a bigger cord, something like that. All right. Obviously, always test before you do the shrink wrap, because once you do the shrink wrap, now you have to cut all that off and you have to start all over again. So always test your connections and everything before you, even really before you do electrical tape too. Let's go find some C batteries. I would obviously recommend getting some really good batteries. You could get the ones from Dollar Tree, that'd be fine, or any of the dollar stores and stuff like that, but those might not last a whole season of this going off, especially if you're doing it like a month-long thing. If you want to not have to worry about it, buy the name brand ones. If you're only going to be doing it for a night or two, go ahead, get the Harbor Freight or the Dollar Tree ones, because you're not going to need... I really hope I have a 9-volt battery. Oh, okay. So, little bit of tip here. Don't touch that when this thing goes off, because I got shocked from the speaker, from that cord. I got a little shock through there. So, don't do that. All right, so my prop is now plugged in. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if it works. It works! Oh my god, it works!
Won't anyone play with me?
I love this voice box.
I used to be fun when I was wise. My friends are all in the cemetery.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Maybe I shouldn't have put them there.
Okay, so it does not work in the Try-Me. So that was a little what some people said, was that it would work in the Try-Me. So if yours doesn't have a step pad thing, then it probably will work in the Try-Me. But if it has a step pad connector or input, then put it in there, because as you see, nothing happens. But as soon as I put it in to the step pad, it goes off. Okay, now let's see if we do it on low, because that was on high, because this thing has a high-low. If you look over here, it has a high-low button right there. So we're going to do it on low and see what happens. Oh, works just fine. Awesome. So I would say set it to low. Then you don't have to worry about anything. And then the battery will last even longer that way. So we'll unplug that, because now we know it works. So, while you're working with it still, go ahead and unplug the battery out of that thing. Alright, so now we're going to go back to this. Now we can do our shrink wrap. Make that one go back as far as you can. Let's get the... So, put it on low. Okay, now we'll slide the other one over that black electrical tape. There we go. I'm sure they have smaller stuff, and I'm going to try to look for some, because I really like that. And then... Oh, don't turn it on high. Ooh, good. All right. So now... So yes, obviously if you're going to do a bigger, if you're going to, get a bigger thing of shrink wrap than this to put over the top of the two of them, I'm going to leave your electrical I know this may sound weird, but I don't like telling people how to do electrical stuff other than doing it the safe way. You know, soldering and putting the shrink wrap on it is the safe way to do it. I don't even do it that way. I do electrical tape, and I call it good. Even out in the yard with the LED lights and stuff like that, I just do electrical tape. So things like this, I mean, if I have the shrink wrap, I'm going to use it. I have a whole roll of it, so I might as well use it. But it is a good idea to use the shrink wrap. Even if you're just doing electrical tape and shrink wrap, that's better than nothing, or better than just electrical tape. So now you have what should be cool is you should be able to put this. So just kind of, I would say, try your best to get this to just kind of sit back inside there so that you don't have any of the shrink wrap showing. I hope that goes back together. That doesn't seem to want to go back together. Oh. There it goes. So yeah, make sure it's all snapped together. So I'm going to go hook this up outside and test it out. Oh, you know what? I just realized what's by my finger. So that thing about the dummy batteries, you don't need one. It's right there. So this is a 6-volt adapter. So you could put the 6-volt in there. You don't need the batteries at all. And you could plug in your 6-volt wall wart, and this thing will run forever and ever and ever. That's super cool. I didn't even notice that. And I was messing with. I had it on low or high the whole time. So low. Put it on low. It'll work just fine. So now you have your finished. I need this voltmeter, so I'm gonna have to buy new batteries for somewhere else. But for right now, we're gonna leave this like this. Oh, it's going off by itself right now. See there, I hid the lights inside the thing, and see how it. You can kind of see where it's lighting up a little bit on the case. That's fine. Now that it's completely done, you also could, in the process, you could also, when you have the case off and everything, you could paint that black. Just obviously don't get any spray paint in the hole there. You don't want that to get on the board. And mess up the electronics on the board there. Paint and circuit boards do not mix well. Neither does water and circuit boards. So, and it's pretty cool. It does have the little hooks right there. You know, you could put it on the wall. Same with this one. It has one on the back there too. So, we're going to go hook this up outside, and we're going to see how it works. All right, so we have it hooked up. This is where it goes every year because it's got lots of space, and it's a cool little alcove area. There's the box. Obviously, like I said, you could cover that with leaves or landscape fabric, all kinds of stuff. You could even put a prop over the top of it or whatever, but I would not attach it to the swing itself because you'll ruin the weight. So the box is down there, so let's walk to it. I know, right? I love that thing. So it says 400 feet away. This line right here is about 100 feet long. So I could go like all the way over there and it would still go off. So this is going to go near a fence. I would also, probably because it's white, I would take this apart a little bit or mask off the sensor area and paint that thing black. So that's what I'll probably do as well. So that's a DIY Harbor Freight driveway sensor, alarm, motion sensor pack. I've seen other people do it without really showing the wiring and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty simple. I did it in about 10 minutes time, and you have a new way to do the prop. One thing I'm going to do with this, I just noticed, is that I've got these cords. I got all the cords coming down from this. So I think the best thing to do is to get enough slack and attach it back up there on the wall so that it swings, because I do put a mannequin on here and it's pretty heavy, but it still swings pretty good. I've gotten it to swing to the point where it hits the wall almost. So if I have enough slack on it to see where it comes out to here and then goes back, I won't have these cords on the ground and coming down, and it would just loop back up there in the back. So I think that's what I'll do with that this year. But now, I used to have a step pad there, and it was stupid, and it never went off, and people had to wait. They would hit it, and they'd go up there to get the candy. Well, she just starts going off. There's no scare. So, and you can't, I didn't want cords running all the way through here. So now, I'll put it on the fence down there, and when they walk by, I'll put it like halfway down. So when they walk by, then this will already start. So by the time they walk by here, she's already going off. So that'll be awesome.